Hello everybody, welcome to a mindful moment with Hayley. Guys, today it is Gratefulness Day and I hope that you've all been practicing your gratefulness every day, even just by thinking of a couple of things that you're grateful for, or noticing when something makes you feel good and paying attention to it. Even just saying a little thank you in your mind. Remember that by practicing gratefulness, we attract more things to be grateful for into our lives. We notice those things more easily. So today I have 5 new prompts for you to think about for gratefulness, for our gratefulness activity. So here we go. Number 1 today is a trip away. What is a trip that you have taken? It could be down to the beach. It could be to grandma's house. It could be a special sleepover, or even a really big trip away like a holiday to a different city or state or country. What trip comes to mind for you that has you feeling really grateful for being able to have experience? Be grateful for experiencing that. For me, I have a lot. I'm very lucky. But I think one that most stands out for me is when I went to London for 2 years. I lived there and taught there, and it was fabulous. Number 2. Something about your family. Now, we know that we're pretty lucky to have our families, even though sometimes they drive us crazy. I want you to think about something that you're grateful for. So, for me today, I'm going to say that I'm grateful that we are often silly together. We like to laugh and be silly and cheeky and funny. So I think that's fun. I'm going to say that we're silly. Not so serious all the time. Who's got time to be serious all the time? Number 3. A lesson that you've learned. So that can be something at school, but it can also be something you've learned from your life, from your family, or just through experiences that you've been like, oh, I get it. That's something that's going to make my life happier or easier or better. So that one might take a bit of thought, but put some thought into it. For me, I'm going to say that a really important lesson that I learned a long time ago now was I always thought that it was best to always be honest, to always say what you're thinking if it's honest. And you might think, well, that is true. But I discovered it's not true if it's not kind or helpful. So, you might think that something that your friend is doing or wearing doesn't look very nice or doesn't seem very cool or funny, but that is harmless. And you might say, hey, you know what? That color doesn't really suit you. Well, that's not kind. It's not helpful. And even though it might be true to you, it's not necessary. So I really learned that just because it's true to me, it doesn't mean you need to say it. Does that make sense? So that would be mine. I'm just going to say my truth. People don't always need to hear it if it's not kind or necessary. Number 4 is a favorite book. So I read a bit these days, but I never used to read much when I was younger. And I think that one book that always stands the test of time with me is a book by a lady called Louise Hay, and it's called How to Heal Your Life. And it just has some really basic, lovely messages and things about how to heal yourself with kind words, with kind acts, learning to love yourself and forgive yourself, and remind you that we're all human, we all make mistakes, and and that's okay. So I would say that book by Louise Hay. Number 5 is a favorite sound. So I think last week we did a favorite smell. So this week we're going to do a favorite sound. And I think it's very easy for me, this one. I thought about it for a second, but I think the sound of a little kid, like a baby or a toddler, laughing is probably my favorite sound in the world, because you can't not smile when a little baby or kid is laughing hysterically. It's the cutest. So I'm going to say laughing. And it's by a little person especially. And then number 6 is just something else. And my something else this week is... I'm going to say that I'm grateful for my mum again, because she's just amazing. She just helps me when I need help, and she never complains about it. I wish I didn't complain like she does. Like, she never does, hardly. She's very calm, and she's just very caring, I guess. So I'm very lucky to have her, and I know that very much. So that's gratefulness for this week. I would love to hear your answers, and I would love it if you could share your answers with someone who you care about. Have a lovely week.